So hi, this is Charlie. Why don't we take a look just for a little bit at device emulation. So on browsers, when you're working on a PC. So here I am on my PC and I have the Chrome browser up and I'm wondering what will it look like on a phone. So the first thing you need to do is to bring up the Chrome developer tools. And you can come over here and choose more tools and choose the developer tools down here. Or if you like, you can also just press F12, which will also bring them up. And I press F12 and here are the developer tools. Now right now they're not docked. I can just kind of move them around like this, which is great if you've got two windows and you want two monitors and you want to have one on one monitor and one on the other. Put the developer tools in one monitor, have the browser in the other. The other thing you can do is dock them here. And if you dock them, they can show up either docked to the right like that or docked to the bottom down there like that, depending on which is more appealing to you. Right now, docking to the right is more appealing to me. Or you can just stop docking altogether if that's what you want. And so I'm going to dock them over here to the right. Then up here, there's this little icon that's very easy to miss, and that's the toggle device mode. And you click on that, and it starts emulating devices. Often it brings up this little guy, which suggests you refresh the screen. And now you can see I'm emulating what it would look like on an S4. And in fact, in the Chrome browser or in Firefox, that's about the way it looks, about like this. If you're interested in other ones, you've got a choice here. We can go over here to the i6 where things kind of look fairly good. And we could come over here to the i4 where you can see my little icon at the top gets cut off due to the nature of the device. And you can also choose, say, the tab, which shows you this tabbed look here. It doesn't, we're kind of limited on real estate, so you can't see the whole view of the tab. And here you see it's 1024 times 768, or you can say, well, what does it look like when it's in, what do they call it, portrait and something else mode. And you can switch back and forth between portrait and landscape mode by clicking on here. That would probably also become fairly evident when you're in the S4 here, where you can switch back and forth between the modes and see, well, what does it look like when I'm scrolling in this mode, and what does it look like when I'm scrolling. Now, one thing to say is the text here is okay to read, but just while we're talking about it, this is no good. These guys are too small. You know, here I'm sort of emulating touching with a finger, and that's showing the sort of space that a finger. People's fingers aren't that tiny, especially mine. Mine would be like a little round circle about twice as long because I'm a big guy, right? You get it. All right. So, and let's come over here now. We're on the S4. Now, we're showing just a little bit about the way things look in this situation. Now, let's all tab over to another browser here, and you've got the same situation where you've got, you can press F12 and you can bring up this little guy here. And if you come over to this style editor in Firefox, then you can dock him over to the right the same way we could in the other one, docking to the bottom, docking to the right, don't have him docked at all. So you've got the same options that you've got in Chrome. And then I'll dock him to the bottom for just a sec while I'm showing you this. You've got these various options along here, and one of them is called the style editor. And in the style editor, you've got this thing here, responsive design mode. Now we're in just the normal browsing mode. Now we're in this responsive design thing where you can see what it looks like when it starts emulating a device. Now I'll dock it over to the right. We're in this emulation mode, and we can come over here and you can see it looks more or less right at 360 times 640. Doesn't look so good in this mode, the old iPhone 4 and 5 mode. you can try, bigger modes if you want to see maybe a little bit more what it would look like on a tablet. Or we can come back down where we're emulating something that looks more or less like a S4, and then I can switch back and forth between the two modes on the S4 when I dock this down at the bottom when we're in this mode, and you can see what it looks like on its side in the S4, and you can see what it looks like up and down. So you can sort of check the two modes out there. This kind of gets you into simulate touch events modes. Then they suddenly get obsessed with having you do a refresh, and you can see a little bit how this would work. I don't really understand what they're trying to do. Maybe it's, you can take a screenshot to see what it looks like there. And so that's giving you a number of options. To tell you the truth, we're not digging in very deeply into the options that you've got available. It's possible also to do browser emulation, so you can set up the headers so that the renderer will think that you're on a different device than you're actually on. But for what we're trying to do right now, this gets us far enough along. We could have a part 2 where we talk about some of those other things here. I'll go ahead and close this window here if you want. You don't need to have the window open once you're in the mode you want to be in, and then you can play around here like this. Okay, I think that's enough for now. I just wanted to get you basic emulation here to see a little bit what things look like. I think you can tell right now that I'm using Bootstrap here to make the emulation easy for me. And once again, you can turn this thing off, and then you'd see what it looks like on a desktop, right? And you can see that Bootstrap is pretty good at handling moving from one place to the other, but I'm not very good at designing code that looks good on a mobile device because these menus are too close together. And that makes it hard for people to use their fingers, but they can at least read the darn text. All right, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you. Have a good day. Keep having fun. Keep using computers, in this case, to emulate stuff. All right, bye.